Why is he telling everybody that? I am Milton, son of a carpenter and Mary. Dad carpenter worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. I am the son of a carpenter Mary. I get to make parables, and this is my Tommy parable series by Tami, the no-arm Chinese fella, average worker, the unseen business, the streets. How did he get to be missing both arms? A dad made sure he had both when he was born. He was being stupid. They loved blind obedience. They loved brown nosing. His boss, Boo, gave him a test of loyalty, a management test, told him to stick his right arm into the wood chipper. Wood chippers, they always got them handy on the Chinese street. And Tommy slowly fed that right arm in, Lefty, the left arm. Saw what was going on with Righty. He's breaking that agreement. They tote stuff. They hitchhike. They give the okay sign. They wipe butts. They pick noses. And in return, Tommy does not chip them up. So Tommy broke the agreement. Righty had written it up himself. Lefty saw Righty getting chipped up, and he jumped off wisely. Now Tommy has to rely upon the kindness of strangers to pick his nose or wipe his butt. And I bet you can guess, strangers aren't always kind. But if that no-armed Chinese fellow sitting next to you on the bus asks you if you could pick his nose, you tell him no. Now this is going to be the shortest Tommy, or one of the top 5, I hope. I got this new image here. Is I need to redo that minute parable quickly about Clarice being called into her federal. She's a federal agent. She's called into her boss's office, and he says your next assignment will be to protect a witness to the hijacking of the American presidency. He has video, photo, and phone record proof of that act of treason. 424-229-4140, and that's my Lifeline phone. I've only had it a couple of years, I think. 213-675-2138. It's got it's a free phone because I'm poor. I'm poor because you can't reach me by phone. It's kind of ironic. That's my Gates livelihood, both as graphic artist, and as my real livelihood, building Jesus' immaculate house. Put the best mankind has to offer in those homes, and inspire the future and the present to greatness with what you put in those homes. You can't reach me to tell me what you believe. Doesn't have to be something here in church. You can't ask me what I mean by Jesus' immaculate house. That's religious censorship, the kind that placed that cowardly Hussein in our White House just a few years after we had been attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. Yeah, they don't name them Hussein unless they're Muslim guys. And yeah, a decade. That's all of that terrorist cell that passed for a presidency and a little more. All of you good cops and firemen out there and soldiers, make a video of your hijack call from the military base, from the fire station, from the police station. You got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed. Make that video of whatever you get when you don't get me. And yeah, post it. And yeah, you can certify your mail as well. 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, Apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065 is the current address. Make a video of the mail first. Use FedEx, use UPS, any private courier. It points to the magnitude, the scope of that act of treason, which placed that cowardly Hussein in our White House. You can't reach me, guys, right now. Whatever boring thing you get, phone ringing, error message, busy signal, you get to leave a message. I sure don't get it. You don't show up on my caller ID, my call log. Look for Melton's call log videos on youtube.com/DNFD series. And yeah, not one 9/11 Flight 93 check of America's Lifelines fight back against those who have committed that act of treason. Fight back against them in the way the heroes of Flight 93 fought back physically, for one, but they also fought back by making calls from in-flight. All of our phones make videos nowadays, even that free California Lifeline phone, the 213 number. They all make a video of another American's lifeline being hijacked and say this is what placed Hussein in our White House. It's not going to be born to this phone right here. I see it as every child in America's lifeline. If that phone is not allowed to work when you need the fireman place paramedics, it's not going to be born. And yes, it's money out of your pocket, your Gates livelihood, your Google livelihood, your Microsoft livelihood, your Spectrum livelihood. When you're calling up countless other customers to get that boring thing. Now let me get the quick one in before I get on to this, because I want to mention Abigail and Morris, one of my parable bites today, about a couple in Anytown, USA, and they've seen this particular image on a flash drive, on a DVD. Someone printed it out as a photo, handed it to him perhaps, and Abigail says, well, all the girls at church were talking about that. This man pointing out what placed Hussein in our White House. Oh, I don't play favorites. Also got the buffoon Russian guy Trump in there, but he's comic relief after that cowardly Hussein placing. She says, Abigail tells Morris to call up that detective. And I have to switch, my arms are getting sore. Call up that detective and that they know and ask. And they do that, and the detective says, oh yeah, we've known about that. Make a video of America's hijacked lifelines right now. Your phone. Abigail, make a video of Morris's. Morris, make a video of Abigail's phone not working as you try to call me. And they say, the detective says to the elderly couple that, when they came through town, big show, we thought it was the Shah of Saudi Arabia from all the Muslims with that crowd instead of the President of the United States. And yes, that makes sense to us too. You can't reach that man by phone. You get that boring thing when you're calling up countless other folks to tell them who they should vote for or what they should vote for. That goes to the core of our democracy. It is that act of treason. So document that for the real history books of America. Turn that dark page with truth. Dark chapter in American history. Now, let me get to Tami. He's in charge. He's bossing. He got a promotion out of sticking that arm in the wood chipper, and he's bossing a whole lot of folks around. And as part of that, he is in charge of impersonators of yours truly in northern Los Angeles, and he is also in charge of covering up Hussein's past, his connections to Saudi Arabia and terrorists and all of that. Remember, he reached out to the Muslims who harbor terrorists in their countries. First thing in office, and backed off once he got that, backed off of being Muslim with that name. I found that funny. Backed off of being Muslim when he got the backlash from the American people, despite the news media not covering news, and tell them, as you check and post in front of them trying to call me, everything's fake news compared to your family's lifeline not working. Why aren't you covering this? Ask the mayor, the governor, senators, all that. Try and call me up in front of them. And as part of Tami's antics, as part of something real that went on this computer, which isn't connected to the internet, so it's a whole lot of high-tech toys here. A whole day's worth of parables. I call them parables. I'm the son of a carpenter. I get to make parables. Whole bunch of videos, whole bunch of photos was stolen for the day over a parable bite. I call those parable bites my minute videos. And it was about Ron, not his real name, a federal employee, a federal agent who had a file on Barack Hussein Obama and his connections to terrorists and the Mideast and all of that. And his boss told him to shut the file down. They're going to place that cowardly Hussein in our White House. And of course, this was before they had the election. Pointing out the staged nature of that act of treason. So, Tami is in charge now because of that act of erasing a day's worth of videos and photos. I've included erasing Hussein's connections. Yes, not one comment about that Osama rumor that Barack Hussein Obama is Osama bin Laden's son. No comment about that in a decade either, as well as not one 9/11 Flight 93 check of America's lifelines. So I'm just assuming it's true at this point. No mail either. Once again, that's how they placed Hussein in our White House, that cowardly Hussein. Tommy's in charge of erasing any videos that show up, and he's come across that show Hussein's connections to the Mideast or terrorists or anything like that. And he's come across this image. It's a stigmata wound. That's lost 80 pounds in 1 month. It's the same as yours. I'm going to try to show you that today. I didn't get to it this morning, and I've made it kind of a feature. But I just want to finish up so I can go to bed, eat and go to bed. Force myself to eat and go to bed. So let me get my sugar check in. As Tami has come across, he's at work, and yeah, I don't have the chest image today because I'm trying to get things done because I'm laying in bed and I'm not sleeping. I don't feel well because the chemicals wafting in through the window from the vet next door. For a while there, it was just the dog and cat gassing chemicals, and then there was yesterday and another time that the severe stuff that's burning my nose from yesterday. Yeah, I hear they gas the dogs and cats because they got a nice lucrative thing with a Chinatown, perhaps. I won't get into Tommy's dog and cat eating. I'm going to do my Tami parable real quickly, and it's kind of hard because it's already 12 minutes. But it takes my mind off of those painful muscles and bones. This is what this is a part of, this right here, aside from being gory and attention getting. It's a stigmata wound, and it's about the eyes growing anew. As I illustrate that Papal Chronicles things. Check it out. I don't have time to get into it. Now, Tami came across, he was walking, had Ching get his soda, his personal assistant, where Ching get his soda, put it down, put the Three Stooges on the TV. He's going to boss them around, give them something to do, and he's going to go in, prop his legs up, drink his soda, and relax. And he passes as he goes back and forth to the bathroom with Ching. He's got to help him out in the bathroom. No arms. He sees that flyer on Leah's computer. And he says, "What's that?" And he says, "Oh, it's a flyer it's an image from 253. From Milton, son of Dr. Mary." And Tami goes, "Well, he can't be telling everybody that." You know, about Hussein's connections to those Mideast terrorist groups and such. He can't be telling everybody that, and he can't be getting them proof, telling them to answer that question with a video of your hijack call to me. 424-229-4140. He can't be doing that, so he's putting them to work real quick. Doing that, let me see if I can find those real quick. Putting them to work, where is it? I think it's back here. Well, I got you somewhere. Ah! Underneath the big poster. It's true, of course, and yes, everybody answers that question with a video. Make a video. It doesn't matter that the folks like Tami worried about hijacking America's lifelines. Great Wall of, I call it Chinese evil. You can call it Eskimo evil if that's easier for you. I'm looking for the files. Don't waste your time with this. Yeah, there's what I looked like after losing 80 pounds. Rolling around the convalescent hospital from hell block, so because they weren't feeding me there, to get a burger at Burger King. That's the devil's people, and yes, a whole lot of Africans and look Muslim to me. And yes, the tags on that, those hospital gowns at that convalescent hospital from hell, Burlington Convalescent Hospital from hell, on Burlington Street in LA. It had Kenya, and from what I Googled, I can't always trust my Googles. It was where Hussein grew up to be closer to his dad during those formative years. Then moved on to Hawaii, then Harvard, then to be placed in the highest office in the land. And Tami says that to erase all of that, including this and those fives, and it's kind of hard because of the domino effect of truth. Folks are posting and reposting. You see, I can tell you all about my eyes, and doctors can't talk about the eyes and all of that. But as you know, good cops across America can get those phone records, can tell you. We can make a video of us trying to call him, John Milton Brady, and that has nothing to do with anything. He says everything in his videos and his imagery is attention getting to get you to pick up that phone. You got the timestamp on the phone, you got the number down. Answer Jesus' question about Barack Hussein Obama and that act of treason that hijacked our presidency. It was a simple video. They're worried enough about the alter phone records covered up, the hijacking of your literal call to me right now. Whoever's in the room there with you, make a video of their phone being hijacked. Worried enough about the alter phone records covered up, but you got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number down. Put millions of other Americans together with that, and the voice of the people will prevent Hussein from, another cowardly Hussein from being placed in our White House. Now this is what the eyes look like about 5 years ago, and depending on how bright the flashlight is, you can just see a faint ring here of the eyes, but they are clearly slowly disappearing. This is what they looked like 10 years ago. And yeah, this is medical research. The doctors of blind folks would be interested in eyes growing anew. Now here's dark brown eyes right there. Yeah, no, you can ask folks from Louisiana. Much darker than that back then. And this is how they look like about, it seems like when I started doing exercises for the eyes, it got like that a little better. You can see the blue and all that changed. And then with a whole lot of vitamins about a little under a year ago, they started getting that white part around them, around the brown and the center, and it shows up a little less. Oh, it's more than it was last time I checked. At least I think it looks a little hazy too. But yeah, the white part's working on that genetic carpentry with me. And yes, the new eyes are kind of bigger. At times the eyes, you can see more white underneath those eyes. I guess that depends on where I'm looking, but yeah, you can see some of those images with two different old eyes and new eyes. Some are obviously much bigger. And yes, all the doctors at that convalescent hospital from hell, LAC, USC Keck Medical, and Dr. Meese currently down the street can't talk about that. Here's how to cut through any BS doctors might hand out to you. You can reach him by phone. You show up on his caller ID. We checked on youtube.com/DNFD series. How do you do that when else will my phone not be allowed to work because of what you're taking part in? Good folks, you know, they're not going to know how they take part in that. It's just the choices made by what I call the Great Wall of Evil that has just me and all of this imagery you might find on flash drive somewhere. And also what placed that cowardly Hussein in our White House and does a whole lot of stuff worldwide. I call it the Great Wall of Chinese Evil. You can call it whatever you want. But good folks aren't going to know. Bad ones, folks actively involved with bald or even with the Mormons I talk about constantly. Not even bald, not even a decent size, as a stone cold impersonator, as I call them. They, oh, there's the Mormons right there. Whole lot of them spectrum. Remember, in my videos, you don't necessarily have to wear that thing on your chest that says elder. It's that gosh, heck, and darn mentality that I kind of label as Mormon. But yeah, good folks aren't going to have a problem with you. I'll focus and I can eat and go to bed. I got some stuff I need to do on the computer, but I'll see. Good folks aren't going to have a problem. Bad folks are going to get angry. They're going to have a story to tell. Make sure you get that on video, because they are definitely a part of that active freeze. Make a video of your hijack lifeline. You have a right to find out. Mr. Senator, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Governor. Why can't I reach this man? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? What are you doing about that? Make that video, post that video, answer Jesus' question. Come see me in person, have wit, will travel, show me the perfect place to build Jesus' immaculate house here on earth. Build Jesus' immaculate house with these rebuilding eyes. Yeah, I'm growing a whole new body. That's why I'm in the wheelchair. Believe that? Don't believe that? Believe that phone record you've got with a video, instead of what's been altered by those hijacking your culture. Come see me, show me, have wit, will travel, show me the perfect place to build. See you tomorrow.